I'm trying to change my style from ad-libbing the whole thing and taking an hour and a half to following some good notes. I will start out by assuring you all that truly we are blessed here in Hanover Park. I'm going to start with that theme because I couldn't be more excited to represent the people of Hanover Park, hopefully in an exceptional manner. I'll be your mayor for 15 years this year in May, and don't ask me where the time goes, but it flies by, which means my daughter was pregnant with her first when I was elected, so she's turning 15 at this next month, and starting high school, and the trials and tribulations that she's going through in high school as an exceptional athlete and a top-notch student in all these advanced classes. I don't know how she does it. I barely got through high school myself, but just an exceptional young lady. I'm very proud of her. So it's a kind of like how old my granddaughter is how long I've been hanging around. And so I'd like to thank all of you who've shown this morning. I see Craig Essick, trustee, and Gino Martinez. Thank you for being here. Todd Kuchenberg from also. Somebody had to drive those two guys, right? Yeah, so very good. Thank you for being here. Mary Kay, she's a good friend, someone that is willing to kick me in the shins if I'm off track. But it hasn't happened a whole lot. Thank you for being here, Mary Kay. I think we work in harmony with that school district. Very nice school district. Michelle Mussman, first one I call when I'm in trouble. And she very supportive. And Joe, nice to have you here this morning. He's our chair for the Economic Development Commission. And when there's a new development coming to town, Joe is out there driving around looking at, trying to figure out. Joe's lived in town over 30 years, maybe over 40 years. About 50 years. So Joe has been a good witness to the trials and tribulations in Hanover Park over the years. And I want you to know, Joe, we're in a good place today. Dan from the chamber, I'm talking about the chamber is with our businesses frequently. So we've got to get all of them on board. Our library representatives, Carolyn Pry from trustee there. Thank you for being here. Our staff, I really have to acknowledge our village manager. I don't know how she keeps 5 balls in the air. We're in the process of getting out from under the shopping center. It's not our core business. We did that to ensure we could bring some quality support to our community, like the Educational WorkNet Center, Gymkhana. Those are people-oriented, family-oriented components. And we did that over 10 years ago, and the time has come to take those dollars from a sale and reinvest it in our TIF, which is the craziest TIF. It covers 2 counties, and I'll never do that again. But it's a challenge, certainly, that will open up some time for some of the excellent work that our staff does. Thank you, Juliana. If you would like to, the members of the, if you'd like to stand, your staff, Juliana, that are here, just have them stand and be acknowledged, please. Police chief, fire chief, Shubra, our finance director. I always ask her for 2 cents. She says, you owe me 2 cents. So we're very, very tight with our dollars. We're not staff rich. Trustee Bancoli just walked in. Her reporter is here. Thank you for your support this morning. I thought we were starting at 9, but it was 8:30, so I guess we all adapt. Some of our initiatives for the coming year I'd like to speak to, and I'm really, really excited with our Partners for Community. They had 85 people show up to the grand opening. Partners for Our Community is a support initiative that's been working nicely out of Palatine, moved to Hoffman Estates a few years ago. I had a conversation with the president at Amita, and she got all excited about the POC and the need in Hanover Park, and the fact they have a building here that she gave a 2-second thought and said, well, we're not using that building. How about, do you want the first floor? I immediately picked up the phone and called Lisa Gutierrez, one of our newest trustees, and after that conversation, she said, we're committing for multiple years that location, and that's going to be wonderful for Hanover Park and the south, including very strongly in DuPage County, but the whole town. You can't do anything in Hanover Park. I don't care what township you're in. It affects us all. So I'm really pleased with that. The Alive Center is coming. Next month they're going to have a grand opening on March 15th to support our youth in the Tanglewood area. Tanglewood area has been a great need in our community. It's the school district's engaged. Habitat made the recommendation. They are coming with some dollars to help restore their clubhouse, and they'll meet with teens twice a week. So we need that commitment in that community over there. But I'm so excited about that. So with the POC and the Alive Center and the commitment of District 20, the school district, Kinneyville, really bringing it all together. And these things don't happen overnight. We've been at this for a number of years, the commitment of not only the village, but our commitment with our legislators, and they've been there for us. So I'd like to thank them. It's all about our quality of life, and in April, we are continuing April 23rd from 10 to 1 p.m. over at the Park District. We're continuing with our Kids at Hope initiative. Kids at Hope. I've been saying for a long time, all children are capable of success, no exception. We live that, we believe that. I'm in the schools to assert that. Fox School, which happens to be behind Mary Kay's home, but Fox School has been a leader. Every morning they say all the children repeat that initiative, that all kids are capable of success. Now there's more to it, but there are no exceptions. All children, and we believe that. It's a commitment by a teacher, it's a commitment by a parent, it's a commitment by the community that we believe in our children, and we will continue that at the Park District. And we're still weighing how we do that. You know, will we be running with masks? Will we be beyond that? I understand the governor is going to release the mask requirement with the exception of schools. But the kids are adapting with masks in the school, I can tell you that. If they sometimes forget, the teachers are so supportive and say, I think you forgot your mask. Oh, that's me. Sometimes I forget my mask. I try to remember what pocket I put it in, and then I try to remember, gee, where did I drop my mask? So I have like a whole bunch of masks in my truck that I keep close. But our board acknowledges that. We are trying to wrestle with that. We function better together, so we try to continue our board meetings in person. And we had our tough times, and we've gotten past that. So quality of life is a key component for me and my very diverse board in Hanover Park. The VFW is rising like the phoenix. They lost their, they couldn't continue with the rent and what they had in Streamwood. And so they didn't shut down, but they were meeting at the police department in Streamwood and continuing. But that is, they put together a search team and they ended up finding a spot here in Hanover Park. So they are opening on the 27th, a grand opening. You're all welcome from 2 to 5. Have a little, some finger food. I'm inviting dignitaries, hope they come at 3 o'clock. The commander will say a few words. Knowing the commander, he'll say, "Here's Rod." So it'll be a welcoming to the community, a new beginning, a new startup. We call it the Rising of the Phoenix because that group thought they were dead. And when they came to Hanover Park, I did what I could to assure we had a home for a while, and we have to figure out how to be continuous, building in our community, supporting the veterans. It's not about having a place to go have a drink. It's not about a place to go gaming. It's not about those type of traditional VFW locations. It's about how do we support and bring together sustainability at a location where we bring in folks that can support the veterans that have special needs that are not going to drive all the way to the VA center in the city or wherever. So we need that kind of support locally, and it's a beginning, and we're going to figure out how to do that together. And I support my brothers and sisters, our former veterans, to do that. I'll do what I can.
Where would that location be?
Oh, that'll be in the Greenbrook Shopping Center, 1094 Lake Street. Thank you for asking. I'd like to, again, mention that the appreciation of the village board, our village clerk, they don't come any better. Christy, raise your hand. Just raise your hand. I'm not going to make you jump up and down. Christy brings a very big commitment to her church, the Mission Church. They commit to 8 communities, and I'm really excited about her commitment to the people of Hanover Park. She brings skills that are phenomenal. She's planning a daddy-daughter dance this Friday and Saturday night. Is that right? Or is it Thursday and Friday? I don't know. But my daughter is 45 years old, so I probably won't be showing up with my daughter. I was trying to consider my grandkids, but I think they're swimming, so I'm running into all those hurdles. But well done, Christy. The community is the work you provided, and the resources and the background to that Christmas holiday that was like a special day, and with the Santa. And, you know, everybody from every community, wherever they came from, came to that event. And they got to speak to Santa, and they get to hear Porter sing. It was pretty phenomenal. If I had your voice, Herb, I don't know that I'd be sitting here. It's an amazing family, and thank you for being here. I will try to keep moving here. The financial health of our organization, as you can see, a couple of bullet points there. Our goal is to make sure our expenses do not exceed the revenue. Revenue is a tough thing today. Revenue is very tough, and we've done whatever we can. We receive support from legislation. We receive federal support. Are we on board to receive every penny we can? Some things we can initiate, and some things we can't. So we have a staff that works hard at that. Our staff, our board has knowledge and skills to help with that by keeping us apprised and helping us understand if we're missing something or where we need to go to find those additional dollars. Do we need them? Yeah, absolutely. I'll be talking more about that. Our community image is important to Hanover Park, our schools, our parks, our community appearance. People drive down Lake Street and they say, what's going on in Hanover Park? They see those medians and they look nice. They look really nice until a truck runs into one, but we got to fix that in the spring. But those are the kind of things that happen. But when the spring comes and you see the flowers, we feel good about our hometown. Now, we don't have the resources of some of our neighboring communities that are larger in size and have first dibs on a lot of money if you're over 50,000. We're not. We don't have a Woodfield, so we have to work smarter and more effective and efficient. I've got notes all over the place. The balanced budget, which was approved by this board, included a zero property tax levy for the 6th year in a row. Is that important? We have done everything we can, and I don't know how long we can do that. I'm looking ahead, and I'm shaking in my boots because I don't like raising property taxes. I have to pay them like each of you that live in Hanover Park, and that's important. But raising taxes, a 1% increase in our taxes only raises $133,000. You'll hear me speak quite outspokenly with our legislators. Michelle's nodding her head, she knows. The local government distributive fund is so important to us. And we understood a number of years ago when the state needed to cut back on that because their debt was getting out of control. And so we accepted that and we worked through it and we cut locally where we can and not raising taxes at the same time. How do you do that? Local government distributive fund that we expect 10% would inure us $3.2 million. If I can only raise at 1%, $133,000, I'd have to raise local taxes to make up for that over 10%. We're not going to do that. But I am going to lean on our legislators as kindly as I know how to support a return to the 10%. And we're not asking for it all in this year. We're asking for 8%, which would help with over $1 million. I don't want to put that burden on the homeowners. We have to move back to our fair share. Not new news to Michelle. She's heard this before, because as bashful as I am. And thank you for being here, Michelle. We've had no water or sewer increases for 7 years. The board looked at our budget this year, and we apologize, but we needed to improve and get some more dollars into the infrastructure component. The infrastructure component has been $12.50. We have waived that for our seniors. When you start messing with the seniors, I'm going to tell you, nobody gets more letters than I. And I want to thank Mark Winnick, who wrote me a letter last night, an email, and he said, I want to hear you tell me why you did that to us. Well, I understand it, Mark, and I understand it to all our seniors. I receive a Social Security check, because I'm older than dirt, of $238 a month. Now, I didn't pay into Social Security most of my career. Most of my career was with the FAA. We didn't pay Social Security, so my income is probably, I didn't earn enough dollars to really make a difference there. But when you pay the Medicare and you pay the Part B, the 5.9% increase from the feds inured me at the end. I lost $6 on my monthly check. So the seniors get it. The seniors want to pay their bills, they count every penny, and Herb Porter stated at a board meeting in December, I don't think we ought to be nailing the seniors, because they are our backbone in this community, and they pay their bills. So we gave everybody the $6.25 increase across the board. The seniors still received the $12.50 waiver on the, they didn't get the same amount of a hit, but everybody is going to feel the pain for our future needs for infrastructure, and it's pretty serious. And so when I'm looking at that, we are leaning for support from our legislators, and we've been blessed. As I started this meeting, I said we are blessed in Hanover Park. And so, Mark, that may not answer your question. You may not be satisfied with that, but the board decided to try to be even keel about that, and 6.25 is not a lot, but we have to figure out how to cover $30 million in needs for infrastructure in our roads and our sewers. Northbrook Avenue, as an example. from one end at Schaumburg to Irving Park Road, we were seeking the $800,000 to repave and to take care of the curbs, like we normally do on most towns, on most parts of the town. Well, then it came, well, by the way, we have to replace the sewer. Well, how much is that? Well, that's $1.8 million. Holy smokes. We put those together, that's one street. Now, it's a long street in our town, but that's a huge hit. And $6.25 is not going to cover that by every resident. So I will be, and I have, appealing to our legislators, and any grant that's available to us, we have to drill down on, including the Cook County special interest grants. So thank you, Mark, for your notes, and to all the seniors that have taken the time to send me an email. Mark's was the kindest. The strategic accomplishments that we've been looking at, I'd like to say that you can see our Streetscape Project has been working in the downtown. We were able to utilize that for our Christmas event. It came off really nice. What a great event. You can see 26 new businesses, including 5 new restaurants, 8 retail stores. Families are investing in our community by opening a business. So when we say shop local, we're serious. Shop Hanover Park. We have a growing, wonderful community. And Schubert, you're doing a great job reaching out in our community. I'm certainly a pain in the tailpipe around where are we at, what are we doing? I want to talk to those developers and let them know that we are committed to supporting our community, the people of our community, and our hometown. They've put on four free, we call them best seminars, business education seminars on technology. Our big concern is our mom and pop businesses can't close the business to come and get the education. So we are reaching out in every way possible to do that. Before I turn my page here, I want to say that Bartlett has been a real good partner with the Chamber, and I am actively seeking with our business community to be a part of that. Our homeowners associations is there. We're encouraging them to be a part of that. So I want to thank staff for their good work and our board for supporting those initiatives. In our village downtown, we are having a public information meeting, so anyone that lives within that transitory development has received this letter, and they're welcome to come out and have a public information meeting, and that will be occurring on February 17th from 5 to 6:30, right here at the Village Hall, and good information within that. Our focus on economic development includes that open house, and I believe we mailed to everyone in that session. Yes, they're nodding their head. Very good, we're doing something. I'm glad we have that mailing out there. Our long-range vision, certainly looking to update our comprehensive plan. The board is very interested in that. They're very interested in our strategic plan as we evolve. We plan on trying to catch up to that. We had all our review, all our feedback from the board. No apologies here, but the selling of a shopping center, the impacts of the railroad where they're announcing they want to bring 8 freights through the middle of our town. Those are all concerns, and they are distractions from the demands of the board for our current strategic plan. But we're going to get there. Juliana's going to have all this time selling the shopping center available to her, so I'm excited that we're going to catch up on a number of things. And some of our accomplishments, Joe is here as the chair of our Development Commission, and I want to thank Joe. I want you to pass along to the members of that commission how much this board appreciates your work. Joe's lived in this town over 50 years. Get that right. But he's seen the trials and the tribulation. He has the concerns and knowledge to really go out there and see what's happening, what works in our town, what doesn't work in our town. So we're moving ahead. I'm really excited. I'm being contacted on a number of developments that understand Hanover Park is in a great place. And I'm really excited about that. Previously, we had a need to replace about a mile of roads a year. For a town that has 99 miles of roads, that doesn't make much sense. But over the last 10 years, moving with our LGDF, that kind of takes away from some of the things we can do. And we supported that, but now we really need to get after our roads. And I spoke a little bit about that. This past year, we were up to 7 miles of road repairs. We're doubling that this coming year to 15 miles. It's in our plan. And those won't get us done real fast, but we can only do so much a year. And so if we're at 15 miles, we're going to get after the worst roads first, and those that need that extra infrastructure of water pipe under the ground. You know, when the water pipes that were installed in the 60s, some in the 50s, when you go out there and they have a water break, and I think we've had 65 main breaks this past year, that's excessive. So when you go out there and you got that pipe that brings fresh water to your home, and it breaks, and you got to clamp around it, and that breaks, and you got to go further, and you take out a tree and you clamp. That's not an efficient way of doing business. We need to get after the pipes that are in sad shape to be replaced. TJ, who's sitting here, thank you, TJ, for your look ahead and the cost of replacing all that. Yeah, we're at many millions of dollars, and we've got to make a commitment for at least the next 6 years to invest $5 million or more in replacing those water mains. And I don't like paving a street if the water main's due to be replaced or is breaking. That's not an efficient way of doing business. My street may be gravel before the next year, but we've got to figure out what makes sense there. And my neighbors like knocking on my door and say, "What are you thinking, Mr. Mayor?" So we have to make sense of this and avoid riding on gravel streets. Grant funding, we've been, you can switch me over there. I think I went through that one too. With the assistance of our legislators who have been gracious and supportive, one of the big things for me, as you know, many of you know, I'm on the Metro board, which is, do I follow the needs of Metro with different railroads, or do I be strong as the mayor and say, by God, I expect these things to be done? We have crossings that are in harm's way. There's no flashing light, there's nothing, there's a curve coming into town. Michelle Mussman supported us to get some dollars. Metro's working on that, and when that's completed, we're going to have safe crossings at our train station. We are blessed because we have 2 underpasses. So when these long freights come through, we won't bat an eye over that. But if the freight is coming in, they're not slowing down and stopping because we have a commuter train sitting there. They just fly through. So it's important to have flashes. It's important to have announcements. And Metro is working with us, with the support of the legislators, to clean that up and make that right. So I'm really pleased about that. We have a UV disinfection system at our plant. Cook County is completely covered by plant, what do you call it? MWRD. They cover Cook County, and they do a fine job. And we all pay taxes to MWRD. But on the DuPage County side of our town, we don't have the support of MWRD. We have to fund our own plant. And so when things come up, like the disinfection system, we're in the process of doing our concepts and our research. What's the most efficient system to support that, and to do it as cost efficiently as possible. So we have some efficiencies we're looking at, but it's another cost that we have to look at. We're going to finalize with the funds we received legislatively. Fred Crespo took the lead on that, and with the support of the other legislators. And those funds are there. We're ready to go. We're planning on at our ball fields on Irving Park Road. You see the improvement with the gazebo, where we are having some summer events. It's working out really well. It's real hometown support, and our kids are going to need a place to play football, baseball. We're supporting that with the help of our legislators. We couldn't do it without that help. Our county farm, I don't know where we are, but we have a plan, and I think we have the funds, do we not?
Yes, sir.
On the bike path from the train station going south to connect with the county path through Arlington and Greenbrook Boulevard. We have a plan for that. That's a dangerous place to try to ride a bike, and we're going to make sense of that and make it wonderful for our community. So I'm excited about that, especially once it gets in, because then I can get back on my bicycle again. I've been off my bike for too long. And given that, I continually work with our legislators, our federal legislators, on the western access to O'Hare. I brought to Raj's attention, who's our congressman, that the city of Chicago has turned off their funding for water to the western terminal. That tells me that they don't plan on meeting our need. And so we have those needs for much of our community, for jobs, direct access. Right now, we don't have that. And so that terminal doesn't necessarily mean planes are going to go there, but that terminal is a place where we can support access, tram access over to the east side. And it can be efficient and effective with our support. And our support looks like, would you rather park in Hanover Park or Schaumburg and have access to the west side of the airport and get to your flights? It would be a marvelous thing to get accomplished, and Raj has been supportive. And we have some new congressmen running for that congressional office, and so I'm supporting him to make sure that they all get it. I continue to fight for Western access. And now we're fighting with the, I shouldn't say fighting, but we're pursuing mitigations around the additional freights coming through the middle of our town. Juliana's in the lead with that, with the other managers along the corridor. What do we have? 8 municipalities from Elgin to Bensonville. Franklin Park is waving their hand. Wait, where are we? So we're coming together as a collaboration. I like working together collaboratively with other communities. We might be this good, but together with all of them, we're really, we got the umbrella covered. So I want to thank our staff for taking, Juliana's really taken the lead with that, with the manager in Itasca, and she has experience with that. She came from Aurora, and she's quite knowledgeable. I've known Carrie Ann for many years. When she started at the bottom of the totem pole, I think I've been around too long. The strategic plan accomplishments around are beginning with our police department, and I have to, I don't want to jump to the police department, but there's some good training going on there. I had a couple of comments. The safety challenge, what we have here is our police department proactively identifying and addressing traffic issues in our community to reduce accident injuries and deaths in our community. The village has experienced a reduction in accidents for 5 consecutive years. And that's a hands-on approach. You just can't sit by and say, oh, I hope nobody has an accident. So we engage that. It's effective. If you're driving through Hanover Park, you're thinking about, oh, maybe I ought to do the speed limit. And be safe. Wear your seatbelt. Buckle your kids in. We support all those initiatives. And one fine initiative that we implemented under Dave Webb's watch many years ago. Is Dave in the room? Yeah, Dave's standing in the back. He's our deputy manager. He did a great job as police chief. He's retired and doing a great job as the deputy. But what was implemented was the I know this inside now, our area response teams. And so I try to find a note and I can't find it. Our area response teams, we divided our municipality into 6 areas, and our officers visit directly with those that want to be a part of that. You can sign up on our website. But they come out with all the reports from the neighborhood, and they get direct feedback from our police department. We don't have to have special committees. We reach out and directly touch our neighborhoods. Officers are assigned for a year to that neighborhood, and that's their key component. If you sign up for that, be a part of the area response teams, and you want to get your quarterly visit in, we not only do it on site, but we will do it visually, electronically, however you call that. But it's good. Our residents like that. One of our last meetings, we met at St. Ansgar Church. They had, I think, half the neighborhood show up. Holy smokes. The chief was excited about that. It's good work. We're in a leadership role in that. We're also in a leadership role. We're one of 46 communities in the state of Illinois that is CALIA certified. We have certified at the top level for many, many years. My board challenged our police department about what are you doing, what's happening in the middle of the pandemic when there was a lot of negativity out there about police departments. We passed the test. They passed the test. Some of the things we are doing are exceptional. How we reach out in the neighborhoods. We're not quick on the gun. We're quick on understanding and being sensitive to the needs of our community. We have an exceptional police department. I'm very proud of them. Chief Minot is here. Thank you, Chief. Andy Johnson is here, Deputy Chief. They've been working 24/7 on these components to make sure we're the best of the best. And when we hire not from the bottom of the list, but from the top. Thank you to our police department. I'm going to move quickly here because we are being trained currently with body cams. Have we received them yet, Chief? I know we had it on our agenda.
They're in, but we have not put them out to the officers yet.
Okay, so we're making sure when we do implement the body cam program, we are trained, prepared, and we understand it. End-to-end service delivery. We're just not going to throw a camera on somebody and hope it works. So there's a lot of training that goes with that, and we do that in an exceptional manner. Speaking of the pandemic, what a roller coaster ride it's been for us. Our staff implemented a situation where we're closed on Wednesdays because we do a cleanup, and we do training, and we do exceptional work. And it's really paid off. We found ways to reach out in our community that are exceptional. We have our Dropbox for bills if people need to use that. But we have, it's really paid off. We've had a minimum of downtime with people staying home because of the pandemic. Our fire department declared themselves 100% on with all their shots. I appreciate that. I don't know if they're 100% on the boosters, but the last I heard they were 100% on all their shots. And I assume the boosters follow, which is wonderful within our community. And we have we've been planning on it, working on it. We've been trying to cut back the cost the best we can for a replacement fire station on the south side of town. The original fire station is pretty sad. It wasn't designed for men and women working together, sleeping together in an environment. Our new fire station will do that. We are researching for the best costs right now, which are tough with limited resources out there. If we need 10 feet of lumber, 3 years ago it was one cost, and today it's 3 times that. So we're really sensitive about making some good decisions there. And that we have found, we don't have to buy property. We have found existing property, which is west of the library on Chick Road, which is near the train, that, you know, the one that goes to the south, the CN rail, which is a number of freights a day. But we're going to be there, and it's going to be a great savings that we found that property. And we're going to work with the residents to make them sure that they love this new fire station coming into their neighborhood. So I'm optimistic. I believe our response time for police and fire and ambulance support is number one, and it's going to be improved by that relocation. So with that, on you flashed effective governance, I guess I'm going to have to speak to it. I'm just joking. We do communicate at an exceptional level. Not everybody understands that. We have multiple outreach products. We have the highlighter, we have social media, we have our website where you can select. You can actually go on our website and select, I only want to know about this, or I only want to know about that. I'm interested in economic development. I'm interested when my fire in the neighborhood. There's components that break that down. You go to our website under Notify Me, you can select what you'd like to see. If you want to see the highlighter electronically, you can do that. You can select that. You don't have to select all 23, I don't know. Dave, how many selections are there? There's a bunch. 12, you know.
A lot of different choices.
So I'm really pleased that we are doing everything we can to reach out. My board is engaged in their communities. They are engaged in sharing with the rest of the board about what's happening, what's occurring, where the weak points are, and getting that back to staff. Now, that makes our community much, much better. Are we staff rich to handle all these things? No. We don't want to be staff rich. We don't want people sitting around trying to figure out what to do next. They've got 2 or 3 things on their plate, and they're moving ahead. I'm burning out Sue as fast as I can, but Sue is marvelous. She'll take my call anytime. Oh, Mr. Mayor, I'll have it for you. Thank you. But there are things that fall through the crack, and it makes us uneasy, but we have a dedicated staff. I'm very proud of them. They've been with us for a number of years. We cook them from within. Dave came as fire chief to be deputy manager. Does he know the town? You betcha. Andy Johnson came to this department a number of years ago. How many, Andy? Oh my goodness. Quite a few years ago. When we hired him, he was just short of the age where he could carry a bullet. And it took a couple of months, and then he was fully trained and ready to go. And he's been a fine example of leadership in the village of Hanover Park in our police department. He gets it, he's knowledgeable, and he understands that. And he's a blessing to Chief Minot, who can take a day off without worrying about what's happening in the department. Succession planning, yes. Our new chief, our new fire chief, came through our succession planning process. He's one of the finest in the state. Thank you. Now I got to get off their back. Our special events coming, I'm preparing to close out here. You can see something new. I don't know who invented this thing, but a doggy extravaganza on April 2nd. It's a new event. It sounds like fun. We'll have that on our website. We'll be publishing that every way we can. Our Kids at Hope Community Resource Fair, I spoke to that earlier. Market at the Metra. It's going to have a few changes there. It's an opportunity to really come out and meet your elected officials. We like to be out there and meet those who rent a space and be a part of our community, and maybe clean the garage, maybe do some different things. Christy's got some good magic up her sleeve. I'm looking forward to that. Christy, however I can work with you on that, please let me know. Memorial Day, we always have a nice Memorial Day observance. When you come in, you see our memorial for veterans. We believe that we honor those who have served our country. It's important. And why is it there? When mom and dad come and pay the water bill and they bring their kids with them, they'll say, "What is that?" Well, then you have to say, it's a village showing that it's proud of its veterans, and we honor that work. touch a truck. It's an opportunity to come out, see all those public work trucks you see digging up your street. They come out, the kids get to jump on them, and honk the horn, and have a great day. And so our special events, our movies in the park, you can see the dates, Cops Day Picnic, always superb, always a wonderful turnout. And our cops are very supportive of our community. Quirks and Crafts, what an exceptional event. It's not for kids, but we come out and have a wonderful time together. It's right in our new downtown area. And of course the tree lighting, which Christy will take and the village will take to a whole new level. I'm really excited about what we're doing. If you happen to notice the new addition this year, we had a lighted train along the corridor there. And it was kind of cute to look at. It was exciting. And it shows our commitment to meeting the needs of our community around rail, whether it's safe or it's having opportunities to rejoin Metra and go to work downtown. Our ridership is way down. I can speak to that from a Metra perspective. We've got to bring people back. And there's a number of reasons people are not coming back, because they found ways to have home businesses and they're working out of their homes. We need to find a way to support our home businesses. We don't have any ordinances to license home business, but we need to look at that, and with a minimum fee, so just so that we can communicate and support our home business. That's going to be the future and something to work on as we move forward as a community. And so is Hanover Park in a good place? We're in a great place. We, through its mayor, appeal to our legislators, appeal to our governor, appeal to anybody to support us in the fashion we expect. The state has held back some of our LGDF funds. We've got to get that back. It's a huge amount. I can't do a 10% increase in our property tax. That's not going to happen. But we have to find a way to share the load so we can continue our support for our streets and our community. So thank you very much. I want to, how long did I go? Not quite an hour. I think the last time I had lived the whole thing, I was over an hour and a half. So thank you. We are blessed in Hanover Park, and I appreciate each of you coming out. We value and appreciate your support. Have a great day.